William Walker Atkinson has written more about personal magnetism than any other writer. Unfortunately, not many individuals truly understand his writings. So on this video, and the next ones, I'll start to comment on important aspects of his teachings, always related to personal magnetism. We'll start with a chapter from a book called Advanced Course in Personal Magnetism. The chapter name is The Development of Your Magnetic Power. This is quite an important writing that must be analyzed so we can use everything that he is giving us in our modern age as it should be used. He starts, every person has already all the magnetic power that he or she will ever have any use for. What you need to know is that you have it, and to be able to draw upon your storage keeper, the inner self. Atkinson opens up this chapter by stating that the magnetism is already inside of you. A magnetic personality doesn't come from the outside sources. You don't need to receive the blessings of some mysterious source or draw upon the energy of someone else. You don't depend on anyone else. Unlike what happened in that time where charisma was very associated with religious beliefs, he claims that all the energy needed to become magnetic comes from within. All you need to do is to connect to the magnetism that you already have inside of yourself in where he calls the storage keeper, or the inner self. In fact, the magnetism in many individuals is buried deep within layers of self-limiting beliefs, negative emotions, and negative behavior patterns. It's buried so deep that it's hard to access it. Before doing anything else, you need to clean up the path to this magnetic source. This is done with a highly developed inner power. You cannot make yourself magnetic by merely reading all the books in the world on the subject. No one can impart power to you because no one can create power for you. All power comes from within. Reading a book doesn't convey any kind of magnetic power. You can read Atkinson's books until your eyes bleed, but you don't be one more magnetic than before. That's because it all comes from behaving, thinking, and feeling things differently than you have been behaving, thinking, and feeling things until now. Reading a book doesn't change you. Only the action that may come from reading that book. What actually changes you is a continuous effort on the day-to-day living. It's the change on your behaviors, thinking, feeling, and overall energy of your being. In that same way, Atkinson emphasizes the development of magnetic power is not like the old esoteric traditions where you needed a guru or someone that will give you the power. No, it's far from it. The energy is yours and the power is yours. You only need to learn how to use it and access it. It does not take any more effort to be magnetic than not to be. This is a key sentence and something we already talked about at length in several emails of our newsletter, which is the power of the magnetic habits. Once the magnetic habits are established, being magnetic doesn't take any further effort. It's just the normal way of being. The same with being unmagnetic. Being unmagnetic at this moment doesn't take you any further effort. It's just the way you are. You are ruled by the magnetic or unmagnetic habits that you establish over the course of your lifetime. Once these habits change, so does your magnetic energy changes as well, and you become magnetic. Then, no more effort is needed, since the magnetic habits are already implemented in you. Your energy, mind, and behaviors automatically adjust to this new reality. To unfold latent power is very simple. When you realize that you have power, you have confidence in your efforts, and this power irradiates your whole being. If the irradiation is weak, your power will be weak. But if the irradiation is strong, your power will be proportionally strong, and you may become invincible. We never know what we can do until we have something to spur us on to achievement. Let's start with this sentence. When you realize that you have power, you have confidence in your efforts. In other words, when your inner power and magnetism are developed, everything you do has their mark. Your actions, decisions, and thoughts. This inner power and magnetism permeate and irradiate your whole being. The irradiation is dependent upon the extent upon which you develop your magnetism and inner power. How far do you want to go? This is just like a mathematical formula, a simple fact of life. The more you remove the layers of negative conditioning, the more you learn how to manipulate and transmute energy, the more you allow it to grow, and the more this irradiation and your power grows as well. Maybe after some time working with your magnetic energy, you don't want to take it any further. You have achieved the goals you had set out and decide to stop your working with the magnetic energy. And that's okay. You won't lose what you gain until then. It all depends on what you want to achieve and how good is good enough with you. You can develop magnetic power by thinking and acting and imagining that you are more magnetic. Thus, you become a human dynamo and you attract magnetism. Once you start the subconscious self-thinking that you are magnetic, your whole personality will respond and you will develop unlimited power. This phrase, read by a mind of the 21st century, may elicit a wrong view and wrong methods due to the dissemination of weak techniques in our present day. Atkison make it seem like you only need the usual affirmations and New Age kind of methods. If you have tried them before, then you'll see that it's not so easy as this phrase seems at first glance. Otherwise, if this was that way, then there will be a lot more magnetic people out there. But he is not wrong in stating this. It's quite accurate. You can develop magnetic power by thinking, acting, and imagining that you are more magnetic. But it's a different process and content in thinking. It's not just stating, I'm magnetic inside of your mind and that's it. No, it's the very way your thinking works as well as the contents of your thinking. The same with your behaviors. It's not the faking it until you make it. It's changing the core of your actions, the way you move, and the type of behaviors according to your own inner power and magnetism. Exactly what we discussed at the 10 Steps to Inner Power training. By doing it, you are permeating your subconscious with further doses of magnetism. It will change little by little until your power is really unleashed. You will find a person with a winning personality as something behind him. A weak person is never magnetic. I do not mean physical strength. Physical power is not attractive power. But physical power may be transmuted into genuine magnetic ability. Physical power is merely the ammunition which may be used for other ends. As Atkison said, physical power is not magnetism. You can be very strong and muscular, yet not be magnetic. But this physical power can be transmuted. This process of energy transmutation is done through tension energy exercises. You'll learn how to differentiate muscular power from magnetic power. You'll learn how to use different energies to improve your own magnetism. Tension energy is one of the true keys to magnetism. Without understanding it, transforming yourself into a magnetic individual is a hard endeavor. But once you truly grasp it, then becoming magnetic is just a matter of applying it. We'll continue this chapter of Atkinson's book on the next video. Access to our website charismaschool.com to get more information on personal magnetism, charisma, magnetic gaze, and sexual energy, including trainings on all these topics. You may wish to subscribe to our newsletter to receive all the updates of new video, articles, and courses.